What's up, guys? It's me, Jeremy. The new preseason for Season 6 changes have come out. They've been released, and oh man, these are going to be some crazy stuff. So let's go through them. I'll give you my thoughts as well as an analysis and how they might affect the game. So starting off, we have some Marksmen updates, and Riot's goal with the AD carry updates is to make it so that every single AD carry has their own unique playstyle. But what this means is about every single AD carry champion in the entire game is going to receive huge changes to their kit, and it's going to really shape the way that they play. Now, there was a forum post earlier that talked about them a little bit, and I can just say Corki is going to become a very magic damage focused AD carry. Misfortune is going to become sort of like a wombo combo AoE AD carry, and her ultimate's going to be able to crit. And so Graves is going to become like a sort of burst damage AoE combo kind of guy, and he's going to have a buckshot effect on his auto attack. Caitlyn's going to become somewhat of like a zone control marksman. Her traps are going to have a charge system now, and if you land her net or a trap on a target, it's going to give you a guaranteed headshot. As well, Kog'Maw is going to become like the maximum damage hyper carry, and his W is going to double his attack speed completely, surpassing the attack speed cap, but at the cost of reducing his AD to 60%. Overall, it's still a massive damage increase, so Kog'Maw is going to be doing loads of damage. And lastly, we have Quinn, who is going to be like this roam, hyper mobile, very fast. Not hyper mobile in fights, but has a lot of roaming potential. Her ultimate's no longer going to be used for assassinations, and is rather going to become a secondary form, like something like Nidalee, where she can just use it at will, and it's going to help her roaming a lot. And the AD carry items as well are going to receive a lot of overhauls. The item changes haven't been released yet, but it's looking like they're going to increase the diversity, and overall I'm really excited for the marksman role in the new season. I think it's going to be really good. As well, we got some changes to the Masteries, and I think these Mastery changes were honestly something that should have happened a long time ago, and really the goal behind it is to make it so that the Masteries are much more impactful than they are right now. So they're going to be in a tier system, tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, kind of like runes, I guess. And once you get the third tier, the mastery points that you get are going to be ridiculously powerful and will have a huge impact and can very much influence the way you build and your playstyle. So overall, it's going to be less meaningful stats and more playstyle influencing effects to your characters. And that's going to be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to that. And next up, we have the vision and support item changes. Now, this is one that I'm not entirely sold on yet, because it looks like they're going to completely remove stealth wards from the shop. So you're not going to be able to buy wards anymore, but they're going to make trinket upgrades free. But at the same time, like, I think we've all noticed how difficult of a time a lot of people have in terms of upgrading their trinkets. So overall, there's going to be a little bit less wards on the map, but the support items upgrading from Sightstone are going to become a lot better, and supports are going to have a lot more options with their vision items. So it's a great change for supports, but other roles is going to be a little bit tricky. And now you are, at least with this changes on paper, it looks like you're going to be completely 100% forced into just taking vision trinkets, which honestly kind of sucks. I'm not sure if I like that yet. We'll have to see how it plays out though. So next up, we have the starting items. Looks like the general idea with the starting items is they're going to make it so that you have a lot more dynamic choices, because right now the problem that Riot has with the starting items is that sometimes a lot of these items favor play styles or certain champions, and that in turn creates a couple of balance problems here and there, especially in the early game laning phase. So they want to make a lot more dynamic starting items. They're going to increase the cost of health pots to make it so that it's a very sustain focused item, so that you either have to choose between an item that gets you health pots or an item that doesn't get you health pots, and maybe the item that doesn't get you health pots is reasonably powerful and has some kind of sustain in its own way. They're also going to remove mana pots from the game, and I think overall these starting item changes are pretty good. I think item diversity is something that League of Legends has really lacked throughout the years, and this is something that can contribute a lot and should also help the early laning phase of a lot of champions, especially in lanes like top lane and mid lane in the solo lane matchups, where the starting items can have a pretty big influence on the specific matchup. So you can take an item depending on what matchup you have, and that can really influence the way you play. And lastly, let's play the video here. I really like this change. This is probably my most favorite change of the entire preseason here. and it's that they're going to add an objective at the Baron Pit before 15 minutes. And so it's just like a little thing that you kill, and it gives a single target buff, so only one player on your team gets the buff. But I think it's a huge impact to top lane in terms of just putting an objective on the top side of the map. I think that's a really important thing, and a big part of why top lane kind of tends to be isolated is because of Dragon being in the bottom lane. And since League is such an objective focused game, you know, a lot of times there's not too much action that goes on in the top lane, since there's no reason to fight top lane, since there's not really many objectives you can take other than just the top lane turret. But this change is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to that. It doesn't look like it's going to be too strong though, so I'm not sure how impactful it's going to be compared to something like maybe Dragon that can potentially have a huge impact on the game. So we'll have to see the numbers on the buff, but it's looking to be an awesome change. I'm really satisfied with this one. Definitely looking forward to the preseason. Let me know what you think of the preseason 6 changes, and I'll try to keep you updated as more stuff comes out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.